West Bengal is one of the greenfield areas where the BJP is looking to make new ground in 2019 to offset some of the losses it might have in the Hindi heartland. With me, Sanjeev Singh. Sanjeev, this is the map of West Bengal as it looked in 2014. The BJP had 2 seats here for the first time in that election, but this time it's looking to make more inroads. How is this state panning up from where you are sitting?
This time it's going to be more of a fight between the Trinamool Congress and BJP, and this is perhaps the first election where we might see, both the CPI, the left parties, and Congress actually taking a backseat in the sense that of being the main opposition party. BJP has been aggressively pushing their agenda, and we've seen that they've consistently been polling good numbers in terms of vote share. So this time it will be very interesting to see as to whether BJP can actually turn them into seats.
Hold that thought. 2014, the BJP had 16% vote share, 2 seats right up here, Darjeeling, and then Asansol down there where Babul Supriyo got elected from. Then there was the assembly election of 2016. Let's see what happens to the map of West Bengal during the assembly election. BJP gets 10% of the vote share, gets only 3 seats, but its vote share in a state assembly election is fairly creditable, although it's a drop from 2014. But in 2019, again, because it's a primary poll of the opposition, it's hoping to make significant inroads and increase its tally.
Yeah, and the prospects of BJP are even brighter this time simply because of the fact that the Congress and the left parties could not reach any sort of agreement. We saw in the 2016 election that there was some agreement between the left and the Congress, but in that bargain you see that Congress actually ended up doing much better than the left, and that is why there was a lot of to and fro between the left parties.
So now whether the BJP can actually increase its tally or not is a big question, but let's see which are the areas it's targeting where it has a serious chance of being in a serious fight and possibly picking up some more seats. This is the vote share map of West Bengal in 2014. The darker areas are where the BJP got high votes. Sanjeev, if you can break this down for us.
Yeah, so if if you go from North Bengal, you will see that BJP is actually polled quite well here.
And this is Darjeeling right there.
Yeah, and then of course down there. So the vote is quite spread out, but I will not be surprised if North Bengal tends to have a higher Muslim population, because that it would be a direct correlation to
the... If I can just add to what you were saying, Sanjeev, these are the seats. The darker colors are where the BJP got around the 20% mark. It's Alipurduar right up there, Darjeeling, Balurghat, Asansol, which it won, Bankura, Krishnanagar down south, and then further down south, Barakpur, Damdam, Srirampur, Kolkata Dakshin. These are the areas where the BJP is looking to make fresh inroads. Now, the point you were making about the Muslim vote bank, which is fairly large in West Bengal, just like in Uttar Pradesh. Actually, the proportion is bigger than in Uttar Pradesh. Let's see this side by side with the demographic map of West Bengal. So there you see it, Sanjeev. This is the demographic map of Bengal in areas where Muslim populations are higher.
Yeah, so basically what the BJP has done is that it's tried to take this position of being a pro-Hindu party, and we've seen in the recent past that earlier you would only see Durga Puja being celebrated with a lot of jest and favor, but this time we've seen that every Hindu festival, whenever it comes, there is some law and order issue with the state government, and that's where I think BJP has taken the lead over the CPM and the Congress party in the state.
So if you look at these areas, Sanjay, these are the seats of Malda Uttar, Malda Dakshin, Jangipur, Murshidabad, Behrampur, Raiganj. These were all used to be, the Congress had a base over here. These are all high minority seats. These are areas exactly where the BJP is hoping to make new ground. There's a parallel here with Western UP, isn't there? Because you assume that where there is a larger Muslim population, the BJP will lose. But actually, paradoxically, the reverse polarization takes it through in many of these seats.
We mentioned Raiganj, it's one seat from where Deepa Das Munshi had fought and lost very narrowly to the CPM, Mohammad Salim, last time. So, that seat was also one of the reasons why the alliance actually could not take place, because there were many Congress, candidates who felt that this time they have a better chance of winning, and if they tied up with the CPM on those seats, then their political fortunes would
One
be.
last point, Sanjeev. We've got an alliance simulator up here. Let's see about what the data is telling us on what is possible in this election. This is the vote share of NDA, UPA, and the Trinamool Congress based on 2014 vote share. Let's see what happens if NDA increases its vote share by 5% this time. And remember, it is possible to do it in Bengal because it's the challenger party.
Then you got to remove CPI and CPM from there because that
Right.
alliance did not take
We
place.
remove CPI and CPM, and so look what happens when we increase the vote share of NDA by 5%. What happens to the seat share?
You see, actually, the Congress and left alliance not happening has helped the Trinamool Congress to a large extent, because they were the parties which had 22 and 12% vote share, so that if it added together would have been almost like 30% vote share. But since they haven't come together, and BJP is not in that great a position where they can touch the 30% mark, you will see that the anti-incumbency vote will split. And what we saw in UP in 2014, where BJP had done so well, similarly for Trinamool.
So the graph of BJP vote share is roughly around 16% in 2014, down to 10% in 2016 in the assembly election. Now, this is what happens. It wins 3 seats if it goes up by 5%. What happens if it goes up by 10%? Let's just do a thought experiment here and see what happens. It wins about 4 seats.
Yeah, so there's not much difference. Even if BJP polls 10% more, there's just adding one more seat from the 5%.
And that's also because it's become a twofold battle with CPI and CPM, the left, not coming together with the Congress.
Yeah, so Trinamool holds the big chunk of votes with them, and the remaining chunk is basically divided between the 3 main parties of Congress, left, and BJP.
Of course, Sanjeev, we've seen in the past that when major shifts in the polity happen in West Bengal, entire cadre shift en masse. Like we saw with the left, a lot of their cadres moved to the Trinamool Congress when Mamata Banerjee became ascendant in Bengal. The BJP is hoping the same thing will happen with the Narendra Modi factor in Bengal this time. Whether that happens or not, we'll have to wait and see. But down to the wire, this is a straight-on Mamata Banerjee versus Narendra Modi battle.
Yes, it would appear so, especially because of the fact that the opposition parties are all divided, and it is the BJP which is trying to make major inroads into the state.
Now, whether that happens or not will decide the fate of the election in West Bengal, but there's no question this is one of the new targets the BJP has in Lok Sabha 2019 along with Odisha, where it hopes that it will pick up a handful of new seats which will offset some losses it might have in the Hindi heartland. We'll wait and see how that game plan pans out eventually when the votes are cast.